Hello, welcome to JOA. If you're new to my channel, please click subscribe and click the bell so you'll be the first to know when I upload. I really do appreciate that. Quick question, because I'm not really sure if y'all know how to do a super chat, because it does help my channel if you send out a super chat. Basically, a lot of you guys are watching from your phone or tablets, whatever. Basically, what you do is you see this right here, this little money sign. Can y'all see that right there? You click on that, and it's going to ask you to either send a super sticker, which is also the same thing, or a super chat. So then you click on one of those, and then it's going to say $5, or you can enter the amount that you want to send, and that's how you do it. It's simple like that. All right, so it's very simple how to send a super chat. Use it on your phone, and that's how it goes. All right, so Sunny Hostin is very close-minded. She's not a journalist, first of all. Not a journalist. She got a journalistic degree. That doesn't make her a journalist, okay? It's like a father having intercourse with a woman. A baby comes out, doesn't make him a dad. It's just a father just because he put himself in that situation. Sunny Hostin studied journalism. She puts herself in that situation, but she is not performing the duty of a journalist, just like a dad can't be called a dad if he is not, wait, should I say the pronoun? Whatever. He is not performing the duty of a dad. So she's not a journalist, okay? She is the View pundit. She's a commentator. She's no different than like a Bill O'Reilly, Tucker Carlson, Joy Behar, Whoopi Goldberg. They all say their opinions all the time. And so she's not a journalist at all whatsoever. And apparently my comments have pissed her off, because people get pissed off when the truth comes out, right? The truth comes out and they get pissed off. I think she's going through a lot of different emotions, because with her son going to college, with Harvard University, I believe they're under some type of Supreme Court lawsuit with, people of color issues, with her having to get up from a seat on air on national television and go backstage because it was said that she had COVID, from Kamala Harris being protected on the show, on The View, because Sunny Hostin was willfully prepared to ask her that question. And so she's going through a lot, and I don't think she had, and her in-laws, of course, passing away. She's going through a lot. So I don't think she had time to take off and kind of just grieve the process of these several things I just listed with what she's going through. She's not really smart. She basically took to Twitter and did a whole, she did like 5 posts talking about sources listed from Johns Hopkins University, talking about the CDC, talking about if you can still get vaccinated and if you can still get COVID. And I literally just read it before I came on here, and she did like 5 parts of it because she knew she was wrong yesterday on the show. And one of the parts that she listed on her Instagram page was basically what Jedidiah was trying to tell the host on the show, but they wouldn't let her talk. And so this is why I say she's a dollar store attorney, because she is. Let me pull up the part 3. She thinks she's so smart, but she's not. She thinks she's very smart. Let me pull it up for you guys. Let's see. Share. It says here. Can you guys see this? Okay. So this is what it says. A Tuesday evening lesson. The following is misinformation. Part 3. The vaccine does not prevent you from getting COVID and does not prevent you from transmitting COVID. COVID vax don't stop infection and transmission in 100% of cases. This is what Jedediah Bila was trying to tell Dollar Store Girl yesterday. No, vaccine does. Okay, let me read this again. Vaccine don't stop infection and transmission in 100% of cases. No vaccine does. However, studies continue to show the vaccine prevents more than 50% of infections. Recent studies have also shown vaccinated people are significantly less likely to transmit the virus in fewer cases in which they become infected. I don't know that to be true because I find it to be a propaganda source. But the 1, 2, 3, 4. The first 4 lines is basically what Jedediah Bila was trying to tell her. The vax does not prevent you from getting COVID and does not prevent you from transmitting COVID. Okay, so reading through those comments, the left praised her. They like, yes, Sonny, for information. When that same narrative came out of Jedediah Bila's mouth yesterday, and she's automatically crucified because she does not lean left. You see how hypocritical liberals are? But they call the Republican sides hypocritical. You see what I mean? And so that was the commentary that Jedediah Bila was trying to tell Joy Behar, who simply told her, you've been on Fox News for too long, who was trying to tell Sonny Hostin, who basically put her emotions before facts and saying, I'm not going to let you come on here and tell misinformation, when literally she posted that on her IG page. But wait, it's okay for you to post it on your social media page because it's not going to get a lot of attention versus saying it on a mainstream propaganda show where it will get millions of people attention. That's the difference of it all. So I can't stand her. Jedediah Bila went on the interview spree yesterday. She went on Glenn Beck. She went on The First with Buck Sexton, and she basically spoke about the view and spoke in facts and not feelings of the show. And she said a whole bunch of stuff that, of course, I agree with. At this point, if I decided to not go independent, I'm a Republican at this point, or I'm a libertarian. There is no way I'm a Democrat or a liberal. Full on propaganda from that show. So if you don't like it, oh well. So I want to I want to show what Jedediah Bila. She was on Glenn Beck, and she basically also. I want to play. First, I want to play this clip right here. A little bit out of it, at least. Let's see.
Many medical professionals have said natural immunity should be a legitimate form of immunization. That's pretty obvious, isn't it? You can see the far left doesn't want to hear it. Author of Dear Heartly, Thoughts on Character, Kindness, and Building a Brighter World, Jedediah Bila, my friend, with us now. Jedediah, I know you've been somebody who spent plenty of time already with the ladies of The View, but it was pretty remarkable because everything you said was true, actually. I mean, demonstrably, provably true. And you think the Surgeon General refuted you? Why can't they let you speak?
Well, that's right. It was true. And if you watch the clip that when they had the Surgeon General on, because I did watch it because I anticipated they would say that, he didn't debunk any of that stuff. He didn't say, oh, what the CDC is saying is false. No, they can't say that because, in fact, it's true. You see hundreds of thousands of breakthrough infections coming up around the country in vaccinated people. It's pretty obvious to everyone, including the CDC and including the Surgeon General, that if you're vaccinated, you can still get COVID and you can still transmit COVID. That's why they brought the masks back in for vaccinated people, because it was obvious that something, oh, wait a minute, we didn't realize, all of that happened. What the Surgeon General actually said on that show was, we don't know the exact number of that antibody count that qualifies as natural immunity. So we just shouldn't use that. That should be discounted, essentially, is what he was saying. And I would have asked him, had I been on that panel, well, do you know the exact numerical value of antibodies that constitutes acceptable immunity for the vaccinated? Because it's really interesting. I've spent the better part of a year looking at my antibodies and watching those numbers and looking at family member who got tested and watching their antibodies. And it's some pretty interesting conclusions. So that's
I would just want to know how long, Jedediah, there's any efficacy for these vaccines. I mean, what's the actual number? Because my understanding is that they don't know. They kind of guess that you need a booster after 6 months, 4 months, depends.
That's right. Now, Fauci's coming out and saying, oh, we didn't realize that the vaccine was going to wane so much in terms of immunity. So now people are going to have to, we realize more people are in the hospital and more people are dying. So you're going to have to go out and get your booster. Listen, people have to ask themselves, is that what you want to sign up for? Is that if it is, if you are comfortable, and this is my message, Buck, if you are comfortable with that, boosters every 6 months, That's fine by me. Go do whatever you want. That is up to you. That is your decision to make, your family, your body, your doctor. That's fine. But I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that because I don't need to do that, because I have provable immunity via an infectious disease specialist in New York City who is himself vaccinated. He's not anti-vax, backed up by 3 additional doctors. I have a medical exemption. There's more risk to me to take this vaccine. I am not going to put someone else at risk. So I'm tired. I'm tired of being told what to do. And I know there's a lot of people out there who are just tired. And this whole idea of the common good, I just want to address that for a second, because that's something that people on the left throw around all the time, the common good. So listen, if you don't take care of yourself as an individual, there is no common good, because you are part of that scenario. You're not supposed to sacrifice your own well-being. Oh, okay, I'm not going to listen to what my doctor said. I'm going to put myself at significant risk for the common good. What good does that do anyone? I'm a mom, I have a son, I have a child, I have a family. That doesn't help anyone, and that should not be a prescription for success for an individual or for a country. So that's utterly ridiculous. And, you know, I think it's really interesting that a lot of these people have been offended by the idea of freedom. Me saying that I want you to make that decision for yourself bothers them. It really gets under their skin. They would rather have government make that decision. They'd rather have a corporate bureaucrat make that decision. Listen, if they want to live in a world like that, hey, they can come to New York City. They can live, you know, under the likes of Bill de Blasio. That's great for them. I'm not living like that, which is why I'm heading to the great state of Texas. But more power to them if that's the life they want. Just don't try to inflict that kind of life on me or my child.
That's all we're saying. That's basically all we are saying. We are saying, for me, I choose not to get it. For me, right? But I'm not inflicting my thoughts and my beliefs on you to not get it, okay? Right? You see, like, I'm pro-life. For me, I'm against abortion. But I'm not out here approaching people saying, hey, did you ever get an abortion? All right. That's what we're saying. And she's right. Liberals have a problem with that. When freedom is often used, when liberty is often used, you know, when really the juxtaposition of what this country is supposed to be for, liberty, pursuit of happiness, our own rights, a free speech, and saying, hey, like, according to my research and according to what I've read, I'm a little skeptical about this vaccine. Let me hold off until more research comes out. Or, hey, you know, it's been X amount of times since we've been in this pandemic and I've been okay. I've been wearing my mask. So logically, for me, I don't see the reason as to why I should get the poo-poo in my arm. That messaging right there is a problem to, and I don't know why, to mainstream media. I don't know why to liberals. That's a problem. That's a problem, right? You know, with her saying what she said on the show yesterday was exactly part 3 of what I just showed you on Sonny Hostin's Instagram page. That's exactly what's coming out of her mouth, right? And so before she even went on The View, I follow her on Twitter. She's anti-Fauci, as you know, she has the right to be. You know, she's very smart. She talks about how decredible these vaccines are seemingly to be, because still, after almost 24 months, according to establishment Dr. Fauci, and according to the doctor that's been on The View that she was talking about 2 or so days ago, there is still no direct answers as to the important questions that smart American people like myself and like Jedediah Bila and like hopefully some of you that's watching want to know, you know. And so by me saying, I don't, oh, I'm unsubscribing, oh, I'm leaving your Patreon because you're anti-vax, and I had to tell people that no, I'm not taking it, but I'm wearing my mask in order to calm them down. Like, that's not your business, right? Like, if I'm socially distancing myself, if I'm wearing my mask, I don't have to explain myself to you what I choose to do medically with my own body, right? Just like the left like to say, well, this is my body, right? I should be able to get an abortion if I want to get it. Why can't that narrative be the same for, you know, our own medical options and reasonings towards this non-credible vaccine? That's what I just don't understand, the hypocrisy there. And that's what Jedediah Bila is basically saying. And again, the part 3 Instagram page that dollar store attorney Sonny Hostin posted on her IG page was the exact same comment that Jedediah Bila tried to tell them on the show yesterday. But she got, oh, you've been spending so much time on Fox News, and she got, oh, you know, I've lost my in-laws. I'm not about to let you to spill information on the show by Sunny Hostin. And it's like, you know, it just, in conclusion, with all being said and done, you know, liberals don't want to hear anything from the CDC or from facts when it does not benefit their narrative. That's the whole hence and in conclusion about the statement, you know, about the statement right here. And so I agree with Jedediah Bila. One thing I like about her is that, you know, she's not scared to talk about the show. Like, she's not worried about not being on, but at the same time, she rides the line of respect and disrespect so she can be on that show again. And, you know, it's a great platform. You know, although it's a propaganda show, it's a great platform for people who are independent thinkers like myself and like Jedediah Bila to go on and to talk to the other side or talk to all sides and actually not be a corporate media juggernaut. Sunny Hostin, when I say corporate media juggernaut, Sunny Hostin has been spending too much time with Joy Reid and Tiffany Cross and all of those people from MSNBC that spewed this race-baiting crap, right? She's never been like this before this season, never. And, you know, just looking at who she hangs with, Joy Reid is another one, right? Joy Reid with the whole Kyle Rittenhouse situation, equating that to the Kavanaugh case, equating that to white supremacy when literally the victims that were the downfall of why he was on trial were white, right? So make that make sense. Joy Reid has been different when her fake journalistic integrity got in question when her past blogs came out of her homophobic rants against the LGBTQIA community got exposed. She said she got hacked, she lied, and she apologized. So she's not been the same since then, and she lost all credibility. And Sunny Hostin is on her way. I think she's pretty much there of also losing that credibility that she once had before joining The View, right? And so if that's how she wants to be perceived as, that's fine. But I mean, she's not a journalist. You're not a journalist. A journalist simply has a script of facts of what's going on around the world, and they read those facts of what's going on around the world. You're not spewing your opinions. You're not spewing whether you're a Democrat or liberal, whatever. You're not race baiting. You're telling people facts about stuff. David Muir, George Stephanopoulos, Robin Roberts, you know, these are people that are in the realm of journalism. Sunny Hostin is not. She's on a show where she has to incite her opinion, and that supersedes the definition of journalism. So she's not a journalist, okay? So not Sunny Hostin, F that hoe. Jedediah Bila also went on Glenn Beck. She went on a Glenn Beck show. And talked about The View. Let me scroll down. She went on a whole bunch of shows that day. And, you know, Glenn Beck is someone, I believe at the time he owned The Blaze, and The Blaze is basically a network for Republicans. Y'all do recall Tomi Lahren, the blonde white girl, 24, 25 years old at the time. She went on The View, and she said that she basically said that she's pro-choice, and Glenn Beck allegedly fired her from The Blaze. And so after that, her career sort of tanked. I mean, she's on Fox News at the moment, but I mean, in my opinion, her career sort of tanked after that because of that situation. So, but that's who Glenn Beck is. I mean, I've watched him in the past, long time ago. Of course, in the past, my notion about him was, oh, he's a Republican. Let me back away. You know, he's a white supra, which I'm going to get to that of the brainwash that people of color are often fed growing up, you know, just with perceptions of people who are opposite of you are not liking you because of your skin color. But I'm gonna get to that later. But let me play this. I'm gonna play this clip of y'all with Glenn Beck talking to Jerry. She's not scared of saying what she feels about the show, about The View.
Were you really surprised that they would treat you this way and cut you off? And I mean, because that is the way they deal with everyone who disagrees with them.
You know, this was an interesting unfolding because I was supposed to host there in October, I had submitted my exemption. It was actually approved at the time. They came to my house, they COVID tested me. I was happy to get tested. And then, suddenly the policy changed and it was only vaccinated people were allowed in the building. So, the executive producer over there happens to be a really nice guy. He's just a pretty decent person in an indecent business, as I always say. But he was communicating with me and saying, we're going to put you onto the book regardless. As I said, I did a pre-interview. So, I have to say, some of those people, Sonny was at my wedding. I mean, I was very surprised in that moment that they wouldn't at least, the expectation that I would listen to political pundits or Bill de Blasio or Joe Biden about my personal health decisions and not my own doctors, that's kind of fascinating to me. And that admission on air, and there was no pushback on what I was saying, because what were they going to do? Go against the CDC? I was putting out, and the reason I cited the CDC is because people on the left cite the CDC all the time. So I said, okay, so you love the CDC so much, and I can, name numerous instances of cases where the CDC just put out an 80% mask efficacy tweet. That is utterly ridiculous. Are they talking about N95 masks fitted for doctors and hospitals, or a cute little leopard print cloth mask from Etsy that I can buy tomorrow? That's fashionable and stylish, but does virtually nothing. So let's be honest about the CDC. But I use their data because I know, hey, you guys love the CDC. All right, this is what the CDC is saying. If you can be vaccinated and you can transmit this virus, and we see that happening throughout the country, give me the scientific justification for a mandate. No response, because there is none, Glenn.
Oops. The CDC never gave her a response, like she said, because there is no response to that. They have no answer to that. They want to control the masses. And I at this point, I feel like Dr. Fauci is just loving the situation that we are in, considering the fact that CDC could not even provide an answer to Jedediah Bila speaks normals. But the thing that I just feel that is very unfortunate in this society is that, people who are independent thinkers that are questioning this vaccine, we don't have the same level of medical providers that someone like a Jedediah Bila has, someone that can go to 3 to 4 doctors and get different opinions. If you want a second, a third, a fourth, or a fifth opinion, that's a lot of money. And we don't have those highfalutin doctors like celebrities like Jedediah Bila. But what you do have as an American citizen is your freedom and your choice of your own decision making, and not to be influenced by pundits like a Joy Behar, a Sonny, a Whoopi, Sarah Haynes, whatever, or like a President Joe Biden. I don't even want to call him a president, but Joe Biden, who don't have doctor degrees, or who even have doctor degrees, like a Fauci or a Sanjay Gupta, because a lot of these people who are on TV, they're establishment doctors. I'm a traditionalist. I'm not about to trust a doctor that's on TV. I don't trust Dr. Phil. I don't trust Dr. Fauci, and now I don't trust any doctor that wants to be on a lifestyle, Time magazine, throwing a baseball at the Yankee Stadium. No, like when you are a doctor, in my view, when you are a doctor, you are here to protect and serve, right? Just like a police officer, right? When you are, same thing with a lawyer. I feel like at the same, it's like I'm a traditionalist in that way. And it's like, I don't want to see my doctor on Botch. I don't want to see my doctor on Lifestyle magazine. I don't want to see my doctor on Time magazine. I don't want to see my doctor throwing a baseball at a Yankee Stadium game. I don't want to see my doctor on a damn magazine coverage looking like he's James Bond from 007. I don't want to see that, right? And so when you are that, and when you are doing that, now you are a Hollywood elite, and that takes away your credibility. That's how I feel. And, they lied to us in the beginning. We had a lack of PPEs. No, they could have told us to wear a damn burqa. That would have been the same, that same effectivity of wearing a mask is equivalent to wearing a burqa, to covering your face with a damn t-shirt that you no longer use. We didn't have to wear masks. We wore something else to cover our nose, but instead they wanted to lie, and tell us something different. Dr. Fauci is on record telling Chuck Todd that wearing a mask is ineffective. That's what he said in the beginning. Don't bring, science changes. Don't bring me that BS, because here we are almost 2 years later. Almost 2 years later, here we are, and we still can't get direct answers to our questions, right? And for dollar store attorney Sonny Hostin to use that doctor that was on The View the other day saying the doctor debunked everything. No, he did not debunk everything that she said. She needs to go back and watch that damn clip. That's what she needs to do. A lot of the answers from that doctor was very indirect. And this dollar store attorney posted on her IG page like 5 parts of a source from Johns Hopkins University or a source from CDC, different sources. But like I just showed you, if you're just coming in, part 3 of what she showed on her Instagram page was exactly what Jedediah Bila was trying to tell the liberal juggernauts on The View, that just because you take the damn poo-poo in your arm, that doesn't mean it's 100% effective. That doesn't mean you cannot transmit it to somebody else. And that's what Jedediah Bila was saying, but they didn't want to hear it. So what Sonny did, she posted it on her IG page. His IG doesn't have the same type of viewership as a mainstream propaganda show like The View has. We're talking about millions of views versus 2,000 likes. Come on now. You know, at this point, she's on the list of a Don Lemon. She's on the list of an Ellen DeGeneres, a Tiffany Cross, a Joy Reid, all of them, you know, elite corporate liberals. She's on that list, you know, and she's on that list. She's on that list, okay? So if Jedediah Bila decides to run for office, I'm definitely going to vote for her, and I hope Beto O'Rourke does not win in Texas, because he's running for governor in Texas. He doesn't want to give up. He went from presidency to governorship, and unfortunately, it seems like he has a huge chance of being elected because he has this big following, bigger than Greg Abbott. I don't know, like with Twitter and Instagram and everything. So, you know, that's all we're saying. We're not telling you not to get it. Do you? We're telling you, do you. We're saying for us. Y'all like to say, my body, my choice. Well, it's my body and it's my choice. If I don't want to do it, then I should be able to say, hey, I don't want to do it, right? I don't want to do it. It's been almost 2 years and I've been okay. And I'm never going to take that. You know, I'm okay. I'm fine with putting a mask on if I want to. I'm fine with not putting a mask on if I don't want to, depending on what the local regulations are here in my area. And I'm fine with socially distancing, and I'm fine. I'm okay, right? I'm not about to go to the doctor every damn 6 months to a year and take a shot after a shot after a shot after a damn shot, right? So if you want to rely on the government and their rulings with the history of what the government did to people of color and Black people, that's fine. You can do it. But we don't want to do it. And that's what we are saying. Why is that hard to grasp? I don't understand. You know, I really don't. You know, stop watching these damn networks and shows and letting them determine your decision when they talk about being pro-Black and Black Lives Matter, but yet they have a whole discrimination issue behind the scenes, right? At ABC, right? At CBS To Talk, right? So stop relying on these networks that rely on telling stories, race-baiting stories, but yet they're no different than the KKK clan behind the scenes, because people of color or Black people are being undermined their salaries, not because of their qualifications, but because of their color of their skin. But if you want to be a clown, if you want to be brainwashed, that's fine. You do you. But let people who wants to make their own decisions in their lives and let them do what they want to do, right? So that's simply what all we're saying. It's not hard. You know, it's not hard to grasp. Exactly, Black Batman. People need to start to wake up. Exactly. You know, people need to wake up. And I'm like, in a way, Meghan McCain was toxic. I mean, I don't view her as a real conservative. Hell, there's even a conservative on Twitter with a blue check mark with a whole bunch of followers that said Meghan McCain and Tara Setmeyer aren't conservatives. I don't view her as a conservative. She's just a conservative by image. Her father was a conservative. Her father is a public figure. And if she would have been a Democrat, that would have ruined his image, right? Her father has an oldest daughter named Suzette McCain, and she's a Democrat, but she's not in the industry, right? She works behind the scenes at a record label company. So Meghan McCain is not a real conservative. She's not. Point blank in a period. She's just a blonde white girl that looks stereotypically like the girl that look on Fox News, and she's a branded conservative. Aaron Navarro is a branded conservative. And when I say branded conservative, I'm not saying, well, just because they don't support Trump. That's not what I'm saying. It's because if you really look at Meghan McCain's history, you would understand what I mean. Aaron Navarro, within 5 years of me watching her on the show, has yet to say anything that leaned right? Tara Setmeyer, who I dislike as well, but I mean, because she works for the Sleaze Project, the Lincoln Project, right? Who actually did white supremacy the other day by having 5 decoys pretending to be like they're white supremacists during the Virginia election. You don't do that. You don't. That, to me, that's equivalent to wearing a blackface, right? Like Democrats want to get on about the blackface. Well, look what the Lincoln Project did the other day in Virginia when they had that election, right? They had like 5 or 6 white people dressed as white supremacists to support the Republican governor, right? You know, they did some type of play, some theatrical play to see if it would work. Doing that, that undermines the Black community. And if you don't see that from the Sleaze Project, then I don't know what else to tell you. So all we're saying is it's okay. If you want to do what you want to do, that's fine. You know, if I want to do what I want to do, that's fine too. But that doesn't make me anti-vax. That just makes me a smart person that's independent, that bases my decision on reading like we learned in school. Because people don't read nowadays. There's a lack of reading going on in society. You know, there's people that are spreading so much misinformation from people with so many followers that are called celebrities because they were on Real Housewives of whatever, to other people with podcasts with so many followers, you know, saying misinformation about the Kyle Rittenhouse trial when they haven't even watched the trial. Oh, his mother drove him there. Oh, he across state lines. His mom didn't drive him there. He actually lives there as well because his father lives there. His uncle lives there. His cousins live there. He has a grandparent there. But people don't do their research. They rely on USA Today, the Daily Beast, to do their own research versus watching the actual trial and seeing facts being portrayed, you know, to the jury and to the world, right? And I'm hoping people that rely on social media, please don't sign up, or please, I hope you're never a jury person. I just hope. I really do. I hope on jury, okay? I hope. I really do. I actually was the youngest person to be on a criminal case jury, right? But I'm smart, right? This was years ago. So I'm hoping people that believe the left, or Don Lemon, Joy Reid, calling this 17-year-old boy at the time a white supremacist when he didn't even kill a Black person, okay? I just hope that you're never selected to be on jury duty. I really do, please, because we don't need stupid people on trial. We don't. And in a way, I don't blame the judge for carefully doing this, because we're talking about this guy's whole life to be potentially ruined, right? 60, 70 years to be in jail over self-defense, right? My only notion is if he would get charged, charge him for that, for the rifle he had, but that's been dropped, right? Or give him, you know, some type of offense for passing curfew. But if you do that, then you have to do it to the other people that were rioting and rooting, the BLM movement, that were rioting, burning businesses down, that, you know, that could have been money making for a Black person, for their family, but they don't think that, you know. Yeah, I'm not going to a damn protest to defend a Jacob Blake over police brutality. I'm not doing that. I'm not. Or a George Floyd. I'm not defending criminals. I'll never do that. I will never do that. So basically, all we're trying to say is do what you want to do and let people do what they want to do, right? And it's not fair to you to say, if your opinions differs from someone else, it's not fair to you to say that they're not, they shouldn't be invited to a mainstream show. No, that's not fair for you to say. Oh, I'm not watching The View. Oh, I'm not subscribing to JOA because he talks like he's on Fox News. No, I talk like I read a book and I have my own opinions on stuff. That's what I talk like, you know? And that's the problem nowadays. It's like, you know, it's like, if you don't agree with that narrative, then you're X'd out, right? It's like, you're not invited to the cookout. First of all, I eat nobody's food anyway. Y'all nasty, y'all don't bathe, y'all don't wash your hands. I don't need to be invited to the damn cookout anyway, okay? A lot of these men nowadays, they don't even wash their hands pre-COVID and now post-COVID. When I'm in a restroom, nobody wash their hands. So I don't eat people's food anyway. I don't want to be invited to a damn cookout. You know, I'm disgusted by eating in people's homes or whatever they bring. People are disgusting. So, you know, all we're saying is just open your mind. Open your mind up. Be entitled, or to people's, not entitled, be open to hearing people's opinions, right? This is why we don't need all hosts to agree. We don't need an Aaron Navarro to be full-time. We don't need a Tara Setmeyer to be full-time. We don't need someone that agrees with the host. We need someone else that's speaking the way I'm speaking now to be on that show to represent the other side. And that's what we need. But in society now, everybody's a winner. There's no first, second, third, or loser. Everybody's a winner. Everybody's first place. Everybody wins nowadays, right? There's no losers nowadays. It's like, it's no working hard to get to you want. We want everything given to us, right? That's the society mainstream media wants us to live in. Everybody gets first place. They all get trophies. You're not a loser. You don't lose in life. And I'm glad I wasn't grown up into that type of scenario. Everybody wants free money. Everybody wants this. They're owed this. They're owed that. No, you're not owed anything. Okay, you're not owed unless you were someone before the civil rights movement. I'd consider that, but no, you're not owed anything. You're not. And this is somebody here that works his A off, that isn't rich, that isn't even like middle class, right? This is me talking, right? This is the average person talking outside of media. You don't deserve SHIT. You got to work for it. But nowadays, people don't want to work for stuff. They want to be on unemployment. If I have to go to a McDonald's right now and fill out a damn application, despite me having a 4-year degree, graduated from cum laude, I will do it to pay my rent and to pay my bills. But a lot of people, they're entitled. They want to be on unemployment. They want the government to control them. They want free checks. They don't want to work, yada, yada, yada. Okay. And I'm glad I was raised not in the era of mainstream American society. I'm glad that I was raised as if I was born outside of America, because a lot of Americans are lazy. A lot of Americans take things for granted. They don't see other things, and they really don't have a view of the world. They just view the world in their own little circle, when literally planet Earth is not just North America. Planet Earth is all over the world, and people outside of this country work hard that they would love to have a check from a McDonald's, a $300 a week check. That's like $1 million to them, And so, people just want to have babies to get that income tax money and yada, yada, yada. That's the Liberal Party for today. But so, yeah, that's my whole debacle on that show. I just went on a rant. I don't see the logic in getting the thing in me and wearing the mask. If I ever get this in me, I'm not wearing my mask ever, right? Because it's like, I'm definitely even more protected, right? So, but I don't see the logic. I don't. Meghan Markle and Prince Harry. I know I need to talk about different topics, and I'm going to do that. Let's see. No, Sunny Hostin is not bothering me. Exactly. It's hypocrisy. That's what I'm saying, Eric. It's hypocrisy, right? The View allegedly lied and said that both hosts had COVID, right? And they were only trying to protect Kamala Harris, because Kamala Harris has no media training. Kamala Harris is looking bad. She is looking bad, right? Weren't these Haitians in Central America trying to cross the border, right? Weren't they in Mexico, I believe, at the time? And so, she can't handle questions like that, right? And her approval rating is so damn low. It's because, for one, her boss, Joe Biden's ratings are low. So 9 times out of 10, the VP's rating is going to be low. She's an inbound secretary, right? It's a chain of command. Joe Biden is the chain of command, and she follows and says and do what she's instructed to do, at least supposed to do, right? She laid on her back and spread it wide to start her political career. That's facts, right? That's facts. She's no different than a Melania Trump or Jill Biden. Both of them did the same thing. Jill Biden, was a model, allegedly cheated on her husband to get with Joe Biden, right? Cindy McCain, same thing, right? So when you have somebody that lays it low and spreads it wide to date somebody at 29 years old who is 60, but who has this highfalutin job in California, who is married and who had multiple side chicks, she wanted to be the side chick too. I think she left him once she found out she didn't need him anymore. And once she also found out about the multiple side chicks, right? So that's that. And he even said a quote that I read, that's politics for you, because she wanted to indict him. She's like, if there's anything I find against this man who I used to date, then yeah, she's going to take care of it legally, right? And his reply was, that's politics for you. And he's right. Politics is bad, you know? So she's one of those attorneys that's evil. She went on the Breakfast Club on record, despite locking up so many Black people in California for 420, right? She literally was on record being pro-immigration, but now she's like, don't come. For Guatemalans, Hondurans, people, you know, in AOC, you upset AOC. AOC is like the queen of the left, okay? You know, you upset a little squad, your approval rating is definitely gonna be low. And it's not Republicans that just despise her. There's Democrats that despise her as well, you know, so it's not just Republicans. So the fact that a dollar store attorney, Sonny Hostin, said the right. No, it's not just the right. It's people from the left, it's independent, and it's Republicans that despise her, right? This is what happens when you try to be a Kardashian, or when you are a Kardashian with education, right? You laid it low, you spread it wide, got what you wanted. You know, he also helped Gavin Newsom's career and Nancy Pelosi, but they didn't date him, as far as I know. She dated him, right? You know, she sucked his stick, possibly. So that was a lie about that. Went on a Breakfast Club, despite locking so many people up for doing what she said she does, 420, right? The whole Guatemalan issue, accusing Biden of being, you know, a white supra, that made her look bad. And plus, like, she wasn't really doing good. She had that big promotion during the primaries after she told Biden about busing and I believe redlining and how she was affected by that. And, you know, Joe Biden cursed the hell out that woman behind the scenes. And that's not allegedly, that's facts, you know. So, you know, they don't have the same chemistry like Biden had with Obama. Biden and Obama, they had the same chemistry because they're both warmongers, right? They both agree on bombing the Middle East. So that's the notion on that. So, see, I don't know where you're getting Americans want to pretend it's not more oppressed when they are doing the same thing. Yeah, they are. Sonny promotes propaganda. So there's a whole bunch of reasons as to why she's like that. No, I'm not mad. I'm not mad at all. Okay, here's the thing. James Millis, Skippy, or anybody on here, now is the time to come on and see if, you know, if you're a man or a woman enough. I'm assuming you're a man. If you want to come on and tell me what you've always say on my community page, right? I'm giving you the platform. If you want to come on and debate and show your face, I'll have respect for you. But I doubt that will actually happen, which is why I don't take comments seriously. So yeah, you know, she's a political hoe. That's what Kamala Harris is, a political hoe. That's all she is. And I think once 2024 comes, if Biden decides not to run again, which I don't even think he would probably win unless, you know, you're even more brainwashed. That's it. Kamala Harris could probably go back to California and be an attorney general or do something in California because there's no president. She can't be president. Like I don't think she's strong enough to be president. Or people will support her in that way. They won't vote for her in that way. So if VP is the highest position that she's ever going to get, right? Because the next position, all her positions in life were by default. Joe Biden selected her for optic reasons, right? He selected her so he can shut up the Black community, right? That's why he selected her, right? Let's just be honest, okay? So anything above that, she's not going to get it because in a way, people like to say Trump didn't work for anything. Kamala Harris is the same thing. A lot of things were given to her by default. She slept with Willie Brown, yada, 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 the VP position. You know, she got that by default as well because she's Black. And look for image reasons with Joe Biden because he's used to working with Black people, I guess, with Obama. So she got everything by default in her career. No different, you know, no different than people than what left people say, you know, about Kimberly Guilfoyle or whatever. Same thing. She's the same thing. So, and I'm just tired of the narrative when it's like, oh, Bill Maher is a white super. You know, Bill Maher has said some things that I don't agree with that pisses me off, whether if he's talking about Palestinians or whatever, but I'm still open to hearing what he's saying. Like, I'm not going to call him a white supra. You know, a lot of things that he say, you know, I actually agree with. I do. I really don't. I really do agree with him wholeheartedly. No, I'm not manic. I would know if I'm manic. I'm being honest. Come out like I'm saying, like, this is why I don't entertain the trolls. I don't. So if anybody wants to come on, this is the link, which I highly doubt anybody would come on. So I kind of want to move on from The View because, I think I said everything that I want to say. Exactly. The other thing is about her laugh. Like she has a lack of media training. And I do that sometimes where if, like, I had a girl in high school call me the T word, right? And I was like, I laughed and I was laughing. This bitch really didn't just call me that, right? But I also laugh sometimes when I'm discussing, a situation that's not laughable about, and people are like, why are you laughing? I'm like, sometimes I just do it, out of, it's a defense mechanism, and that's what she has. But I mean, I'm talking about me, a normal person, versus her working for government, right? Being on camera with everybody. If she laughed and actually got shit done, I'd be okay with it, right? If she laughed and actually did her job, I wouldn't mind. I don't really care that she's laughing. I just think she's a con artist. I that's what I feel. I think she's a con artist. I don't care who she married. My barber, we talk politics all the time. He's like, yeah, she married a white man. I'm like, I don't care that she married a white man. I really don't care who she married. I don't care if he's Jewish. I don't care. All I care about, I just want her to do her job. That's it, right? Which, I mean, her career has never been doing her job except for, sucking the pipe and, getting ahead in life. That's her job. That's always been her job, sucking pipe. No, yeah, Batman. Nobody is they're all internet trolls. That's what I'm saying. That's why I don't take them seriously. So I want to move on for that. That's pretty much all I said about Kamala Harris, being a political hoe. That's what she is. But anyways, I want to move on to pop culture. I want to move on to Tamar Braxton. That's what I want to move on to. See, a lot of people, here's another thing that pisses me off. When there is an interracial couple, specifically when there is a black person that, either guy or girl that's in a relationship, with somebody, right? That's white or somebody else. It's often saying, oh, Jeezy don't want to, be with somebody else. Oh, he disrespecting black woman, yada, 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 yada. And so a lot of people despise Jeannie Mai because she is with a black man. I think a lot of the black community are jealous that she was able to be with a black man, because it's the stigma that black people can't date outside their race in mainstream media. It's still a stigma, okay? We want civility and we want equality, but not when it's our people dating somebody outside of our race. No, you don't do that, You don't do that, right? That's the hypocrisy I don't like. So Jeannie Mai, she talked about being bullied on the show. She didn't say Tamar Braxton's name, but it was Tamar Braxton. She talked about how being assaulted when she was younger by her cousin and her immediate family allegedly caused her to basically cause every aspect of her life, between decision-making, between how she feels with her friends, between just her overall body. And one perfect example would be Tamar Braxton, right? I've watched the show now. At least I used to watch the show religiously ever since the 6-week sneak peek, and I've always noticed all the girls they treated her badly. The chemistry was always off, right? I never really liked the reel from the beginning when they had this discriminate. They basically told, not the host, but the producers told two hijabi women in the audience that they can't sit in the front. So they had to sit in the back, and those hijabi women filed a discrimination lawsuit in California. So I've always side-eyed that show, right? I think the show came on in 2013 with their first season. It's 2021. And so with Jeannie Mai, I've always felt like she just wanted to be liked. She talked about how there was an employee on the show that she really wanted her to like her back. And that person was Tamar Braxton, right? And she says that she talked about this on her YouTube channel. She talked about this on The Real. She didn't say Tamar's name, but I mean, it's pretty evident it's Tamar, right? She basically said that, you know, her being assaulted at a very young age and her parents not believing her mom not believing her, and her running away and stuff for so many years, and, you know, her reuniting her relationship. And I feel bad for the girl in some ways because, you know, she finally got closure. And she got closure from her YouTube channel by showing a video on her channel about her and her mother talking about, you know, her cousin allegedly doing that to her and her mother not believing her. And stuff that her mom said on her YouTube channel was something that she never heard within, you know, her, within, you know, from that time it happened to now, like 20 years ago or so when it happened. So that's a lot. That's a lot. And so she basically said that going through that, she, people, right? And, you know, and for someone that's in her late 30s and trying to let somebody like you, or, you know, be bothered if somebody doesn't like you, that's problematic. Like, I'm 29 years old now, right? And it's like, I could give a rat's ass if someone don't like me, coworker, I don't care. Like, it's just, I'm here to pay my bills. And so I don't mind that. I really don't mind. And so in my opinion, it wasn't just Tamar Braxton, T-word, you know what that is, what they call Arabs, Arabs. What's it called? It wasn't just Tamar Braxton that I felt was doing that to her. I felt Lonnie Love was doing the same thing. I felt Tamara as well, who says she's not dramatic. Tamara Mowry was doing the same thing as well. And I felt like the only person that was supportive most of the time was Adrian Balone, you know. So, because I remember during the show that the Real deleted from their YouTube page when they had this confession moment, and Jeannie Mai's confession was that she feel like she can't relate to the host. She said that Tamara and Tamar, they're both mothers. She said that Lonnie Love is just naturally funny, and Adrian Balone is just a cool person. And she's like, I feel like I don't relate to anybody. And I was like, when she cried and said that, I was like, well, it's a shame that she's crying that she does not relate to the host when I find her the most relatable. You know, I mean, I can relate to every single one, but culture-wise, I relate to her because the Asian culture is really not, you know, we have some similarities, you know. So I have more relations to her, you know, personally and professionally, right? Because, you know, she mentioned during that time that she goes to work. She's not here to make friends. She's just here to work. And I've always been that way. I'm not here to make friends at my job. I'm just here to work, right? And so that kind of, I guess, made a little guard up towards the host, I'm assuming. But if you do recall, when they first did their first impressions, Tamar Braxton called her like snooty or like standoffish because she's this styling girl with so many shows on the networks. When Tamar Braxton is insecure, and she still is insecure, right? Which is why, you know, you have a girl whose life profession is to style celebrities and to put makeup on. When you have a chick on the show who buy dollar store weaves and wears it on the show, you know, of course you're gonna get intimidated and to feel insecure by someone that is fashionable when you buy dollar store wigs, right? So I'm not trying to go off on Tamar because I supported the girl, like, you know, with allegedly what Lonnie Love did to her. So it has nothing against her. I'm just trying to be funny. So like, you know, it's a shame that it's like you're 30-something years old, you're successful, and you're on a show, and you want to be liked by your coworkers, right? Or you want to be accepted, and you don't feel accepted, whatever. Well, I'm just here for the paycheck, but you got to understand with entertainment, you know, it's different than going to your 9 to 5, right? It's like you spend at most 3 hours a day with one another. You do prepping, you do your styling, and then you go on a show for an hour, then you go home, right? Or you do your other job, your other gig. So it's different from a 9 to 5. And in a way, it's like they have to show that they like each other because the way they get their money is from fans, is from viewerships, where people that work 9 to 5 is like, say, F that person, like, I'm here to make my money. But in the way, if you think about it, their brand is by you all, is by the people. So it's like you're on the show with a whole bunch of co-hosts, right? And it's like, one person is standoffish, you see? So it's like, you know, it's a brand thing. It's a marketing thing, right? It's public image, it's a public job. So it can create a problem if the hosts don't like each other, because it's like, not only can you get scrutiny from your coworkers, you can also get scrutiny from the fans. For instance, Meghan McCain, it's like her coworkers didn't like her, right? So it's like when people see that, now the people who watch are not going to like the coworker who seems like they're standoffish, right? So, you know, and so now you have social media, you have your coworkers, you have bloggers talking about it. And so that puts a lot of pressure on one person. And so, you know, I can see where you can be affected by that. So whatever. Tamar, Braxton, the girl need help. She still needs therapy. She's always in some mess. The girl just got robbed, and she went to Instagram and wrote this whole page about her being robbed and everything, saying that she know who did it, and that she's not worried about it because God is her king and God's gonna give her money back and yada yada yada. Yeah, you know, I never bought that. I never bought that she was saved or that she changed as she tried to appear to be. I know she's trying to rebrand herself, but I've never really bought that she was, you know, that she changed. I don't believe in that. So she took to people.com did a story on it, but she wrote on her IG page. She said, a few hours ago, this broken bum a man, one that I know, broke into my home and stole my safe only. Not a Birkin, not a computer, not one of Logan game systems, but he only went through my drawers, broke mirrors, turned my bed upside down, and took my safe. I want you to know firsthand that I'm not angry. You did not break me. You did not violate me. What you broke and broke, don't realize that God gave me that home and every single thing in it during a pandemic, and also during the time when I was all of those things. God personally put the pieces of my life back together again. So Pumpkin, you did not steal from me. Those things you took, he will give back to me 1,000,000 times fold. You took from God. I know that is not a payback you are not prepared for. But get ready. This time you really did it. Now, I'm not sure you realize that I am truly a king's kid and I'm very special to him. So I'm sure this one he's going to take very personally, and Father, have your way. Amen. Okay, well, I mean, you clearly wrote an IG page about it. You're clearly affected by it. I mean, I wish her well. She's she kind of reminds me of my dysfunctional household in a way. Like, you know, I can relate to, I guess, what she's going through. You know, it's like, you know, you're always mad or you're always angry about something, but it's like, you know, then you go on Entertainment Tonight and said that you're saved, that you changed. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying that. You know, she still needs help. She really do. She still needs help. Hey, Jillian. Yeah, they show up in the chat, but they don't show up on my live stream and call in. You know, I gave them the stage. The ball was in their court, but they don't do it. That's why I don't take the comments seriously. I mean, sometimes it comes to my phone and my homepage where I'm not on YouTube and I get it and if I'm mad about something and I see it, then I may respond. But, you know, a lot of them, they just want attention, which I can see why, because, you know, I like sometimes it's like it feels good to get attention from, you know, someone with X amount of followers, right? You know, so I get it. You want attention because it seems like, you know, you got your fame or whatever from it. But, you know, they're not going to come on camera and tell me what they say in the comments. You know, they're cowards. They're not going to do that. They're not going to do that at all. So I know I got a lot of grown folks on here. But I mean, I saw this. I was like, I may talk about it because I used to watch her on the X Factor, Camila Cabello and Shawn Mendes. I mean, you know, they children. They in their early 20s. They broke up. I'm like Wendy. Wendy's like, I'm doing this story for you. I really don't give a damn. But I really don't care about, you know, a man trying to be straight, being with a girl that's, you know, whatever. I personally don't care. So, you know, she took to her Instagram page and said, hey guys, we've decided to end our romantic relationship, but our love for one another as humans is stronger than ever. We started our relationship as best friends and will continue to be best friends. We so appreciate your support from the beginning and moving forward, Camila and Shawn. You know, This relationship reminds me of like Ricky Martin. You know how Ricky Martin had to pretend for so many years. Y'all know who these people are. You know the girl Camila Cabello. She had that song called Havana, which is the capital of Cuba. Havana, una na, plays on the radio. And then she was on the X Factor in a group called Fifth Harmony. That's those people. I know they're young. Y'all probably don't know who they are, but and Shawn Mendes is the youngster that got discovered through Vine. You know, he got some songs. I know I can treat you better than she can, or something like that. That song. And so like they broke up. But you know, their relationship to me is like a Britney Spears or Justin Timberlake. But you know, I guess they were in love. So I can't compare it to that. Their relationship is more of a business relationship. Their relationship is like a political Hillary, Bill, and Bill Clinton is like, it's like you're together for business. We're not sexually attracted to each other. You know, you got your pipe sucked by so many women, allegedly. I don't love you, but you know, we just got to be together due to the public. And so, but the difference with their relationship and this relationship is, I find it to be that this is a fake couple, meaning that I don't think that he's straight. I think he's gay, or bisexual or whatever. And it's sad that nowadays that people can't live in their truths and say, you know, hey, I'm gay, but I'm a singer, you know, and I want you to accept me. So it's like that relationship, it is a business relationship. You know, I don't think he's living in his truth. The part of the reason why I don't think he's, because it's like the first time people brought that up, he came on camera and started yelling or being angry about people calling him gay, right? And, you know, it's like Ryan Seacrest. Ryan Seacrest is not straight. You know, he's not. It's like, I used to watch his show on YouTube. And I remember when, what's his name, was on the show. Damn it. The Kardashian stepbrother, what's his name? The one that's from the Jenner, from now Caitlyn Jenner's, from them. Damn, what's his name? The good-looking guy. I don't know his. Damn, y'all need help me in the comments. What's creepy? What painting? Damn, what's his name? One of the guys from the Jenner family was on his show, and Ryan Seacrest told the camera guy to put the camera on his feet. And Ryan Seacrest started licking his lips. I forgot Brody Jenner. Thank you. You look up an interview on YouTube, Brody Jenner being on Ryan Seacrest. Ryan Seacrest has a thing for Brody Jenner's feet, right? And it was like a more of a lustful thing, right? Yes. And so, you know, and plus, like, if you watched American Idol from season 1, he didn't look like the Ryan Seacrest that he looked from season 2 to now. It's like he had to change his brand, change his image. So, and I'm not trying to out people, but I'm just saying, there's a whole bunch of people. There's one big famous person that I know that likes both, but is brand wise, is seen as a straight man. But this is where I tell you guys, you have to think for yourself and not let these mainstream pundits tell you what you should do with your body, tell you what decisions you should make about yourself, and actually, make your own decisions. Because you have people that are branded certain ways that are not truly who they are, right? And they are being hypocritical, telling you what you should do on TV, right? So that's all we're saying is like, be yourself and, make your own decisions based on you if you want to get the shot or not. Don't let Dr. Fauci, Joe Biden, or some surgeon general on TV tell you what to do, right? Talk with your doctor, your trusted doctor, get a second or third or fourth or whatever opinion, do your own research, look up people who actually was affected and passed away by this damn vax, because there are thousands of people that were. One guy who's in Florida, a doctor, that I told you guys to look up, died 2 weeks after taking it. Do your own research. What's the other one's name? What do you mean the other one's name? I talked about Shawn Mendes and Brody Jenner being on Ryan Seacrest, but I'm not going to say the other guy. I mean, it's pretty obvious, but it's not to a lot of people. That's not my story to tell. But he's pretty famous in the industry. He's pretty famous. Wendy Williams have said it many times on her show, right? But anyways, that's pretty much all I'm going to say. Nobody wanted to come on. I gave everybody the platform to come on. If you wanted to come on, but nobody wanted to come on and talk and say anything, not even the trolls. But I just wanted to come on and do a live stream to talk to y'all. Let's see. Trump supporters should go to school. Hey, Joanna, Lakeisha. It's funny because I see your comment on the View page, and you always accuse Sonny Hostin's husband of being on a DL. See, I read comments on the View page. I do. I'm like, some of these people actually follow me. I'm like, I read y'all comments. I be laughing about what you be writing. Maybe that's why she's so mad, right? Who knows? Let me stop. I don't know. But anyways, let's see. No, I personally like Wendy Williams because she's not here for the BS. You know, I like her. I like her hustle. I mean, I don't agree with her lifestyle per se of what she did in the past, but I respect her hustle and I respect how she do business. Not with her husband, but I mean with these damn celebrities that they trying to hire for her show. That's what I like about her. It's like she don't want no consistent host. She don't want no one to take her spot, not because out of jealousies, because that's her show and she built that, right? And so I don't blame her for not having Sherry Shepherd consistently host her show. Look what she posted on Twitter. How you doing? I had the biggest ratings, you know, so people, you know, they forget. And she blocked me because I told her I don't blame Wendy for not having a consistent host because it's like, you know, people aren't humble. You're not humble. Show some humility. And that's why she blocked me because of that, you know. Yeah, she's always a victim. Yeah, she's funny. Yeah, that's another thing. She's funny, you know. And so it's like, in a way, I don't blame her. And it's like in this industry, there's no, I mean, look how Sonny Hostin treated Jedediah Bila, but Sonny was at Jedediah Bila's wedding. You see what I mean? You know, and basically, after the show, Sonny Hostin posted on her Instagram page the same thing Jedediah Bila was trying to tell the host. You know, she posted that as factual. And it's like, you know, are you stupid or are you just, you know, she's stupid, obviously. This is why I feel like she needs to take some time off. You crazy, Eric. That's the rumor, Joanna. That's the rumor. Her staff actually said she doesn't have the jab. Some of her staff members are saying that. Some of her staff members are saying she didn't take the jab. That's why she's not at the show. But I don't know if that's true or not, but that's why I reported that story, because I heard a little birdie, you know, said something. But yeah, so the in conclusion of this all is don't rely on pundits that aren't doctors. You know, y'all got to realize that The View started off as a show that talks about news. They only got political probably up to the point where Monica Lewinsky, Hillary, I mean, even during that time, they weren't that political, right? So I think it gotten to where it was when they hired Elizabeth Hasselbeck. So I think it got to the point where it got political, but not really all the way when George Bush, the son, was in office, right? And so they had Elizabeth Hasselbeck on. Then they went back to switching gears to pop culture, which is why they hired Raven Simone and Candace Cameron Bure, but they still talk politics, but it wasn't as much as they do now, right? And so they went full on political, or at least more political during the Trump era, right? So these are pundits. These aren't people that went to school that studied political science, that studied government. Sarah Haynes studied government, which is probably the reason why she's the most reasonable on that show. She actually studied government, right? So not one person on that show now has a degree in politics or government, but Sarah Haynes, you know? And I'm not saying that you need to have that. What I'm saying is that it shows from what comes out their mouths, right? I didn't study government or politics, but I mean, I'm level-headed and reasonable when it comes to hearing from both sides and concluding my own, you know, narrative and research based on my own thoughts based on what I read. So it shows. Brian Tito, who's the executive producer of the show, they talked about it on a podcast. They're like, people don't realize that we started a show from just pop culture and news. You know, none of us are really like political analysts on the show, political pundits or anything. But it's like, you know, people take our words like as if it's the Bible, right? As if this is what we need to do. So now, that's not what you need to do. You need to do your own research. You know, these aren't political analysts. You know, even if they were political analysts, a lot of people who studied politics and government in college, a lot of them, they're biased as well. So what all we're saying is do your own research, and if somebody's opinions deciphers from yours, that's not a problem. It's just how the world is. If we all agreed to one another on every decision, this would be like a robot type of show, right? This would be, you know, no one has feelings, emotions, political differences. It's like the world would be boring. It's like a robot. It's like dictatorship, authoritarianism. You know, it's like that. That's what we're saying. Maybe she don't have a personality, Joanna, sometimes, but at least I find her to be the most reasonable, you know, on that show. I think she has charisma. I think, but she just doesn't show it as much on The View, because I think she wanted to be perceived as, you know, because if you watch her on Sarah Strahan and Kiki, she had charisma on that show, right? So I think it just depends on the show. I know who that is, Joanna. Yeah. Yeah. The View has gotten political to me. Yes, she told us on Dr. Oz, but that clip has been pulled for some reason. It's just an article. I haven't found a clip. But yeah, so all of them sucks up to Whoopi. All of them. Sonny, Joy Behar, all of them do. This is why I personally, for a conservative, someone that I want conservative-wise, and she's not even full conservative because she says she's pro-choice, but someone that actually I felt was good was Michelle Tafoya, right? Because she told Whoopi, what she told her, she was like, let me school you on something or something like that, and Whoopi said it back. So it's like she's not scared. She's not scared of Whoopi. But it's funny because when I read articles about Whoopi, or with Whoopi recently doing interviews and stuff like that, Whoopi says she wants people to be themselves on TV. But it seems like when it's on TV, when people being themselves, it's like she gets pissed off. So I don't know. But yeah, I don't suck up to nobody. I'm not sucking up to no Whoopi. I don't like, if she came into my restaurant, you're being treated like everybody else. You're not getting first in line. No. Okay, lady. Learn to spell, baby. Learn to spell. Anybody want to come on? This is the link. But yeah, so I don't suck up to anybody. To anyone, should I say. So I'm blessed and happy that I don't have to rely to be, it's now like podcast, social media, and I don't like how liberals are trying to take that away and try to control Facebook or social media. No, because they don't realize that a lot of people use social media for business, right? A lot of people, they have cupcake, birthday cakes, they sell clothes, they sell, they buy things from garage sales and they sell it on social media and stuff like that, or on eBay. So it's like, you know, I feel like the left, they want control. They want government to control things once it gets too big. And I don't agree. I don't agree with that. When they talked about that on the show, I don't agree. I don't want Facebook to be controlled. I don't want YouTube to be as controlled, right? And so I highly disagree with that. It's like people actually had businesses, right? Like Ben Shapiro grew from social media, right? And look where he is now, right? Roland Martin is on social media, right? And look how he is now at his show. So it's like, I don't believe government should be should be in charge of, that's what I hate. That's what I can't subscribe to that. It's like, yeah, and they done Rosie wrong. I want to make a video about that. Rosie replied to them on Twitter. If you follow The View on Twitter, they have a commercial. They have like a commercial promotion saying, guess who's going to be on The View? And a person is covered in the shadow. And Rosie wrote, it's not me. Then The View replied back and says, would you be ready for some time in October? Why? To me, that is highly disrespectful to reply and to try to book a legend on The View through social media where everybody can see it. That's disrespectful, right? They want to talk about publicly accepting, and Rosie is a liberal, right? They want to talk about publicly accepting everybody, but it's like they do Rosie bad because Whoopi don't like her. Because Rosie was actually a person that stood up to that buffoon, right? So, I mean, and I don't dislike Whoopi. I call her a buffoon, but oh well. So, Whoopi now want to talk about CRT and race, but literally years ago, there's a video of her, and people do grow, people do evolve. Like she told Brian Tita in her podcast, The View Behind His Hip, people do grow and evolve. They change their minds. They do. I agree with that. But it's like, you said somebody following you in the store is not racist. You said that publicly. And what's her name was on the show? Laverne Cox was on. And Laverne Cox was like, that is what was like, I've been black for 55 years. I know what I'm talking about. So it's like, to me, that's highly disrespectful for a legend to try to be booked publicly on a social media platform. That's highly disrespectful. So I told Rosie, I replied to her, I'm like, well, why don't you come on my show? And Rosie liked my tweet. I don't know what her email is. I can't find it. But I mean, I know she does interviews with podcasters and everything, and she's open to that. Yeah, just The View is not all peaches and creams and tastes like strawberries to the left, on the liberal side. They don't like Rosie because she speaks her mind, right? But this is why Joy kisses up to Whoopi, right? So if Whoopi don't like you, then you pretty much can't be on The View, right? Like if Whoopi does not like you, then it's like you're axed from that show. You're axed. Rosie is a liberal. She had her issues with Whoopi. She hasn't been invited, right? So Meghan McCain, of course, had issues with Whoopi. I mean, I guess different scenario, but yeah. So it's like, this is why they all kiss up to Whoopi's, because it was like, if you cross her, there's always one host on each talk show that is someone that can determine your job or not, that has an influence. Let me say an influence of your job or not. On The View is Whoopi. On The Real is Lonnie Love. On The Talk, it was Julie Chen, right, at that time, right? And so there's always somebody, and that's why there's always a stigma that women can't work with one another, right? So, but yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, that's pretty much the whole situation. I don't have a black scent. This is how I grow up. This is how I grew up. I grew up around black people, so I don't have a black scent. I'm not Iggy Azalea. I'm not from Australia trying to mimic who that. Black people, y'all got to stop that shit. I don't have a black scent. I'm just as black, if not more than you are, just with a different skin tone, baby. So, when I mimic Whoopi, what did I do to mimic Whoopi? You're saying Whoopi doesn't even have a black scent. So what did I do to mimic Whoopi? Whatever. If you don't want to come on here, then I'm not listening to your comments, because the ones that troll, they're cowards and they don't want to come on live and tell me. All right, y'all. I'm getting off. Thank you so much for watching. Deuces. They're cowards, Jillian. Yeah.